Your silence is pushing your soulmate toward a life-changing decision. Stop it now, don't scroll, listen to this, because if you're seeing these words right now, this message is for you, and your heart needs this right now more than you realize, because something delicate and powerful is unfolding in your life at this exact moment, and the universe is asking you to pay attention, not tomorrow, not later, but now. Listen to this, your silence is not neutral, it's not invisible, it's not being misunderstood the way you think, it is actively shaping a decision your soulmate is standing on the edge of, and they didn't wake up planning to choose, but the quiet has been loud enough to force reflection. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is not about guilt, it's about awareness. Your soulmate feels you even when you say nothing. They feel the pauses, the unsent words, the emotional distance you think is protecting you. And listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because what you see as patience, they may be feeling as uncertainty. What you see as self-control, they may be reading as withdrawal, and the universe doesn't want this connection to be decided by assumption instead of truth. Don't scroll, because here's what's really happening beneath the surface. Your soulmate is in a moment of spiritual awakening, whether they know the words for it or not. They are being nudged to choose a direction, to stop hovering between hope and doubt, to either step forward into alignment or step away to protect their heart, and your silence is becoming the mirror they're using to interpret your intentions. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because silence leaves space, and space fills itself with stories, fears, and old wounds, especially for someone who feels deeply connected to you. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe has been trying to get your attention gently at first, through signs you brushed off. Repeated angel numbers like 111 when you thought about them late at night, 222 when you questioned whether to reach out, 555 when restlessness crept in and you couldn't explain why. Those were not coincidences, those were prompts, reminders that timing is tightening, that something is reaching a tipping point. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate isn't angry, they're tired of guessing, tired of interpreting energy instead of hearing truth. Tired of wondering whether they're holding onto something real or just the idea of it, and that emotional exhaustion is pushing them toward a decision that could change the course of their life. Don't scroll, because here's the part that matters most, they don't want to leave, they want clarity, but when clarity doesn't arrive, the soul seeks resolution elsewhere, not out of betrayal, but out of survival. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the universe is not asking you to chase, beg, or over-explain. It's asking you to signal, to break the silence just enough to realign the energy, to remind them that the connection is mutual, alive, and not imagined. Don't scroll, stay with me, because silence can feel safe when you're afraid of vulnerability. But safety that costs truth eventually costs connection, and the universe is whispering that this is not the moment to disappear, this is the moment to be gentle but present. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the decision they're being pushed toward is not small, it's not dramatic, it's quiet and permanent, the kind of choice someone makes when they believe waiting has an expiration date, and you were never meant to be a question mark in someone's destiny. Don't scroll, because this is the cliffhanger moment, the pause before something locks into place, and what you do, or don't do next matters more than you think, not because you owe anyone anything, but because destiny responds to courage, even small courage, a word, a sign, an honest moment of presence. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the universe is not asking you to pour out your soul all at once, it's asking you to stop letting fear speak on your behalf, to stop assuming silence is safer than truth. When truth is the only thing that can steady what's shaking, don't scroll, stay with me. Because if this message feels heavy, it's because it's accurate, and accuracy is how guidance feels before relief arrives. The universe brought this to you not to scare you, but to empower you, to remind you that your voice carries weight, your presence carries meaning, and your silence carries consequences you never intended. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because what happens next doesn't have to be loss, it can be alignment, it can be clarity, it can be a turning point. Where misunderstanding dissolves and truth finally has room to breathe, don't scroll, because this is only part one, and the universe is not done speaking yet, but it is asking you to listen, and maybe, just maybe, to speak. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you're here for part two, this message is still unfolding for you, and your heart needs this right now in a way that's deeper than reassurance and stronger than coincidence, because what your silence has set into motion is still moving, still shaping, still pressing on the edges of a decision that hasn't been spoken out loud yet. Listen to this, after the quiet stretched longer than expected, your soulmate didn't stop feeling you, they didn't detach. They didn't suddenly forget. Instead they went inward, and that inward turn is where life-changing decisions are born. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the part most people don't understand. When someone deeply connected to you stops hearing your voice, they don't hear peace, they hear echoes of their own doubts. Old wounds start speaking louder, past abandonments resurface, and your silence becomes the final variable in a question they've been trying not to ask. Should I keep waiting, or should I move on to protect myself? Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because that question is not theoretical anymore, it's emotional, it's heavy, it's sitting in their chest every time they think about you, every time they check their phone, every time they wonder if they misread the connection. Don't scroll, because the universe is revealing something important here. Your soulmate is not making this decision from anger or pride, they're making it from exhaustion, from not wanting to feel foolish for believing in something that hasn't been verbally confirmed, and silence, even unintentional silence, can feel like rejection when someone's heart is open. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because while you've been trying to stay composed, to not say the wrong thing, to not seem vulnerable, the universe has been watching the energy tilt, slowly, quietly, toward a fork in the road, and that fork isn't punishment, it's momentum. Don't scroll, stay with me, because here's where the spiritual layer deepens. This situation is not just about communication, it's about alignment. Your soulmate is in the middle of a spiritual awakening where they're being asked to choose themselves, to choose clarity over confusion, and if clarity doesn't come from you, they will seek it elsewhere, not because they want to replace you, but because the soul craves certainty when the heart is involved. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the signs you've been seeing lately aren't random. Angel numbers like 333 showing up when you feel emotionally conflicted, 444 appearing when you feel frozen or unsure, 555 flashing when restlessness hits. Those are signals saying movement is required, not rushed movement, but honest movement. Don't scroll, because your silence is being interpreted as an answer even though you never intended it to be one. And the universe is stepping in now because destiny doesn't want misunderstanding to decide something meant to be guided by truth. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is standing in a moment where staying still feels more painful than letting go, and that's when life-changing decisions happen quietly, without drama, without warnings, just a subtle internal shift where someone says, I can't keep waiting in uncertainty. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is not about blame. It's about awareness. Silence can protect you from rejection, but it can also block connection, and right now the universe is asking you which one you're choosing. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because even a small signal from you would change the emotional equation completely. A word, a check-in, an honest moment of presence, not a grand declaration, just proof of life in the connection, and that's all your soulmate has been hoping for. Don't scroll, because here's the cliffhanger that matters. If nothing shifts soon, they may choose closure over confusion, not because they stopped caring, but because caring without clarity hurts too much, and that choice, once made internally, changes energy fast. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the universe is not asking you to chase or overextend. It's asking you to stop letting fear make the decision for you. Fear of vulnerability, fear of timing, fear of saying the wrong thing. When silence is already saying something, don't scroll, stay with me, because destiny responds to courage, not perfection, and courage here doesn't mean pouring out everything. It means breaking the quiet with intention, honesty, and warmth. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because you were never meant to be a lesson someone had to walk away from quietly. You were meant to be a connection that spoke, breathed, and aligned in truth. Don't scroll, because the universe is still holding the door open, but doors don't stay open forever without movement, and this moment is asking you to decide whether you want silence to keep writing the story, or whether you're ready to step in and speak for yourself. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because whatever happens next will not be determined by fate alone. It will be shaped by presence, and presence starts with one brave, honest step. Don't scroll, because this is only part 2. And the next phase depends on what you do with what you now know. Don't scroll. Listen to this, because if you're here for part 3, this message is still reaching for you on purpose, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels almost urgent but still gentle, because what's happening now is no longer just emotional tension. It's decision energy, the kind that builds quietly until a soul chooses a direction and doesn't look back. Listen to this. Your silence has pushed your soulmate into a space of deep reflection where they're no longer asking, "What if?" They're asking, "What now?" And that shift changes everything. Don't scroll. Stay with me, because this is where most people misunderstand the moment. Your soulmate isn't spiraling, they're stabilizing. And stabilization often comes right before someone makes a life-altering choice, one that doesn't come with drama or warning, but with calm resolve. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because while you may think staying quiet is buying you time, to them it feels like time is running out, not because they want to rush you, but because their soul can't stay suspended in uncertainty any longer. Don't scroll, because the universe is revealing something important. Your soulmate has reached the point where waiting without clarity feels like self-betrayal, and that's when people choose movement over longing, even if their heart is still attached. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because this decision forming inside them isn't fueled by anger or ego, it's fueled by a need for emotional safety. They are trying to protect themselves from the pain of hoping alone, and silence, no matter how unintentional, can feel like confirmation that they're hoping by themselves. Don't scroll. Stay with me, because the spiritual layer here is strong. This connection activated a spiritual awakening in both of you, but awakenings don't always pull people together immediately. Sometimes they force a choice between fear and truth, between avoidance and expression, and right now, your soulmate is being pushed by the universe to choose clarity. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because the signs You've been receiving are intensifying for a reason, angel numbers appearing closer together, like 555 showing up when you feel restless, 111 flashing when you almost reach out but stop, 444 appearing when you feel frozen. Those are not coincidences, they are warnings wrapped in guidance, saying, don't let silence decide this, don't scroll. Because this is where destiny becomes responsive, not fixed. The universe sets the stage, but you still have agency, and right now your agency lives in your voice, or the absence of it. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is standing at a threshold where staying emotionally open to you means closing themselves off from other possibilities, and humans can only stay in that space for so long before choosing a direction. Don't scroll, stay with me, because here's the part that's hard to hear but necessary. If you don't speak, they may interpret that as your answer. Not because they want to, but because they need peace, and peace sometimes looks like walking away quietly from something unresolved. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because that kind of ending doesn't come with closure or confrontation, it comes with acceptance, and once acceptance settles, reopening the door becomes much harder. Don't scroll, because the universe is stepping in now precisely because it sees a misunderstanding about to harden into reality. And destiny does not like being decided by fear or assumption. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you were never meant to lose someone you care about simply because you didn't feel ready to speak. Readiness doesn't come before honesty, it comes from honesty. Don't scroll, stay with me, because your soulmate isn't asking for guarantees, they're asking for presence. They're asking for a sign that the connection lives in the real world, not just in intuition and energy. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because even a small moment of honesty from you would interrupt the entire trajectory they're on. It would slow the decision, soften the resolve, reopen curiosity instead of closure. Don't scroll, because silence accelerates endings, while clarity slows them long enough for alignment to catch up. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe isn't asking you to explain everything, confess everything, or define everything. It's asking you to signal life, to let your soulmate know they're not alone in the connection. Don't scroll, stay with me, because here's the cliffhanger you need to understand. If you continue saying nothing, the decision forming inside them will complete itself quietly, and once that internal door closes, reopening it will require more than words. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe has brought this message to you before that happens, not after. Guidance always arrives before the point of no return. Don't scroll, because this is not about panic, it's about precision. Timing matters here, not to rush, but to prevent regret. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the choice your soulmate is leaning toward is not about replacing you, it's about choosing emotional stability, and that choice could change their life path in ways you never intended to influence. Don't scroll, stay with me, because you still have time. But time without movement tightens into fate, and fate responds to courage. Even small courage, one honest moment, one gentle reach, one signal that says, I'm here. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe is not asking you to be fearless, it's asking you to be present, and presence can change everything. Don't scroll, because this was part 3. And what happens next depends on whether silence continues to speak for you, or whether you finally decide to speak for yourself. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you're here for part 4, this message is still meant for you, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels heavier, deeper, and more precise than before, because what's happening now is no longer just emotional tension or spiritual nudging. It's finalization energy, the stage where a soul quietly decides how the rest of their path will unfold. Listen to this, your silence has pushed your soulmate past wondering and into accepting, and acceptance is the most dangerous phase of all, not because it's dramatic, but because it's calm, it's quiet, and it feels resolved. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is where most people think nothing is happening, when in reality everything is locking into place. Your soulmate has stopped asking, why haven't they spoken, and started asking, what does this mean for my life? And that shift marks the beginning of a life-changing decision. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when someone moves into acceptance, they begin emotionally preparing for a future that does not include waiting. They start imagining new routines, new choices, new directions, not out of anger, not out of spite, but out of self-preservation. Don't scroll, because the universe is revealing something critical here. Silence doesn't just pause a connection, it reshapes it. It teaches the other person how to live without answers, and once the soul learns how to survive uncertainty, it eventually chooses certainty. Even if that certainty means walking away. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate isn't giving up on love, they're redefining it, telling themselves that love should feel mutual, expressed, acknowledged, and when silence stretches too long, the heart begins to protect itself by closing gently instead of breaking loudly. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the spiritual crossroads. Your soulmate is being guided by the universe to choose movement over stagnation, alignment over waiting, and if your voice doesn't enter the space soon, the universe will guide them toward a door that feels open, even if it wasn't the door you wanted them to walk through. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the signs around you are no longer subtle, they're urgent confirmations. Angel numbers appearing back to back, 555 signaling irreversible change, 111 appearing when you feel the urge to reach out but stop yourself, 444 showing up when you feel frozen. These are not coincidences, these are warnings wrapped in compassion. Don't scroll, because here's the hardest truth to hear, your soulmate is not waiting for a perfect explanation. They're waiting for presence, and when presence doesn't arrive, the soul assumes it's not wanted. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because they are beginning to emotionally detach in order to survive the uncertainty. And emotional detachment doesn't feel like pain at first, it feels like relief, and relief is what makes walking away feel justified. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the moment destiny tries one last time to interrupt misunderstanding before it hardens into reality. The universe doesn't want fear to make this decision for you, and it doesn't want silence to make it for them. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because once someone internally accepts that they must move on, they don't announce it, they don't argue, they don't demand answers. They simply stop reaching. And by the time that change becomes visible, the decision has already been made. Don't scroll, because this is the cliffhanger moment that matters most. The window for influence hasn't closed yet, but it's narrowing, not to scare you, but to wake you up. Timing matters when souls are involved. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because even one moment of honesty, one gentle expression, one signal of connection could interrupt the acceptance forming inside them and reopen the emotional flow. Don't scroll, stay with me, because silence feels safe only until you realize it's shaping an ending you never intended, and the universe is asking you now. Are you willing to risk vulnerability to prevent regret? Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because destiny doesn't require grand gestures, it requires truth at the right moment, and this is that moment. Don't scroll, because if silence continues, the decision your soulmate is leaning toward will finalize quietly, and life-changing decisions made quietly are the hardest to reverse. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because you were never meant to lose someone you feel deeply connected to simply because fear kept you quiet. Fear protects comfort, but truth protects destiny. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe has placed this message in your path before the turning point, not after. Guidance always arrives before the door closes, and what you do next, speak or stay silent, will echo far beyond this moment, shaping not just a connection, but a future. And this was part 4, and the universe is still watching, still waiting, still giving you the chance to choose presence over silence before the choice is made for you. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you've reached part 5, this message is no longer just guidance, it's a warning wrapped in compassion, and your heart needs this right now in a way that might feel uncomfortable but deeply necessary, because what's happening now is not emotional tension anymore. It's emotional closure forming without you. Listen to this. Your silence has done something you never intended. It has given your soulmate the space to start rehearsing a future that doesn't include waiting for you, and that rehearsal is becoming familiar, comfortable, even logical. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the phase where the soul convinces itself it's doing the healthy thing, not the easy thing, not the desired thing, but the thing that feels safest after too much uncertainty. And listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is no longer asking whether you care, they are asking whether they can afford to keep caring without hearing anything back, and that question is heavy, it's exhausting, it changes people. Don't scroll, because here's the truth most people never realize until it's too late. When someone begins to emotionally detach, it doesn't look like anger. It looks like peace, and peace is dangerous because it feels like resolution. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is slowly choosing peace over hope, not because hope died, but because hope without confirmation hurts too much to carry, and your silence has become the evidence they're using to justify letting go. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe is stepping in now more urgently than before. This is no longer a nudge, it's an interruption. Destiny is trying to stop a misunderstanding from solidifying into a life-altering choice. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is standing on the edge of a decision that will redirect their emotional energy, their availability, their openness, possibly toward a new path, a new person, or a new version of themselves that no longer waits. Don't scroll, because here's the spiritual truth, when a soulmate connection is left unspoken for too long, the universe doesn't punish either person, it reroutes. It says, clarity must come from somewhere, and if it doesn't come from you, it will come from circumstance. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the signs you're seeing are no longer gentle reminders, they are countdown signals, angel numbers appearing rapidly, 555 repeating when you feel a pit in your stomach, 111 showing up when you almost reach out but stop. 222 appearing when you tell yourself, maybe later. Those are not coincidences, they are the universe saying, later is becoming never. Don't scroll, stay with me, because your soulmate has reached the phase where they are rewriting the story in their head to survive, telling themselves, maybe it wasn't meant to be, maybe I imagined it, maybe silence is the answer, and once that narrative settles, it becomes very hard to undo. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you never meant for your silence to communicate disinterest, you meant it to protect you, to give you time, to avoid saying the wrong thing, but silence doesn't translate intention, it only translates absence. Don't scroll, because the universe is asking you something very specific now, not, are you ready for love, not, are you sure, but, are you willing to be seen, because being seen requires sound, presence, expression, and right now, your absence is being interpreted as a boundary you never set consciously. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because your soulmate is not angry with you, they are grieving quietly. Grieving the possibility that this connection may never step into the real world, and grief has stages, and they are approaching acceptance. Don't scroll, stay with me, because acceptance is the final door before redirection, and redirection is how life-changing decisions happen, not suddenly, but calmly, intentionally, with a sense of, this is what I have to do now. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because once that internal decision is made, your soulmate will stop looking for signs from you, stop checking for messages, stop holding space, and when that happens, even if you speak later, the energy will be different, the door heavier, the timing misaligned. Don't scroll, because the universe is not asking you to rush into vulnerability blindly, it's asking you to interrupt a misunderstanding before it becomes destiny. One honest signal, one moment of presence, one indication that the connection exists beyond silence. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because silence feels passive, but it is active, it is shaping outcomes, and right now it is shaping a future where your soulmate believes they must choose themselves away from you. Don't scroll, stay with me, because destiny doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for participation, and participation starts with courage, not confidence. Courage to say something instead of nothing. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because you still have time, but not unlimited time, and guidance always arrives before the point of no return, not after. Don't scroll, because this is the cliffhanger moment, the moment where one small shift from you could dissolve weeks of internal closure forming on their side. One message could pause the decision, one honest word could reopen the emotional channel. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you were never meant to lose a soulmate connection due to silence born from fear. Fear protects comfort, but truth protects alignment. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this was part 5, and the universe is watching what you do next, not to judge you, but to respond, and what you choose now, silence or presence, will ripple far beyond this moment, shaping not just a connection, but the direction of 2 lives, and the universe is still holding the door open, but it's asking you, gently but clearly, not to wait until it closes to decide to speak. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you're here for part 6, this message has reached the most critical point yet, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels both heavy and awakening, because what's happening now is no longer emotional buildup. It's energetic separation forming, the stage where 2 paths begin to drift unless something interrupts the momentum. Listen to this, your silence has now been interpreted by your soulmate not just as uncertainty, but as a boundary they must respect, and that realization changes how the soul moves. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the moment where they stop waiting for permission to hope and start giving themselves permission to let go, not dramatically, not angrily, but with quiet resolve. And listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because quiet resolve is the most permanent kind of decision. It doesn't announce itself, it doesn't negotiate, it simply adjusts direction. Don't scroll, because your soulmate has reached a phase where they're telling themselves, if it was meant to move forward, I wouldn't be left in silence, and that belief is settling in as truth. Even though it may not be the truth you intended to communicate, listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because intention doesn't matter when it isn't expressed, energy reads outcomes, not excuses, and the universe is watching a misunderstanding harden into a life-altering choice. Don't scroll, stay with me, because here's the part that's difficult but sacred. Your soulmate is beginning to emotionally close the channel, not to punish you, not to teach you a lesson, but to protect themselves from staying open to something that isn't responding, and protection looks like detachment. Before it looks like distance, listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because detachment feels peaceful at first, it brings relief, it quiets the longing, and once someone tastes that peace, they are unlikely to return to uncertainty willingly. Don't scroll, because the universe is sounding the loudest alarm it has without creating chaos. It's placing this message directly in front of you to say, this is the moment where silence becomes fate. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the signs around you are no longer symbolic, they are directional. Repeated angel numbers like 555 signaling irreversible change, 444 appearing when you feel frozen, 111 showing up when you think of reaching out but hesitate. These are not coincidences, they are confirmations that a timeline is closing and another is preparing to open. Don't scroll. Stay with me, because your soulmate is no longer sitting in indecision. They are beginning to plan emotionally for a future that doesn't involve waiting for you to speak, and that planning rewires attachment. Once the heart adjusts to a new expectation, it rarely reverts. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you may believe you can explain later, clarify later, speak when you feel ready, but readiness does not arrive in silence, readiness arrives through expression. And the universe is urging you not to wait until the door feels heavy to open. Don't scroll, because here's the truth that changes everything. Your soulmate does not need a confession, a promise, or a grand emotional reveal. They need a signal of life, a sign that the connection exists outside of intuition and energy, something tangible enough to interrupt the narrative they're forming. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because narratives become reality when repeated internally, and right now they are repeating. If they wanted to speak, they would. And that sentence is dangerous, not because it's cruel, but because it feels logical. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe is not asking you to abandon your boundaries or rush into vulnerability recklessly. It's asking you to stop letting fear impersonate wisdom. Silence can look like maturity, but in this moment, it's acting like avoidance, and avoidance never protects destiny. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because destiny requires participation, even small participation, one moment of courage, one honest reach, one acknowledgement that the connection matters. Don't scroll, because the cliffhanger you're standing in right now is this. If silence continues, your soulmate will finalize their decision not out of bitterness, but out of self-respect, and once self-respect becomes the reason someone walks away, convincing them to return becomes nearly impossible. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe is still holding the timeline open. But timelines respond to action, not intention, and inaction is still a choice. Don't scroll. Stay with me, because you were never meant to lose someone you feel spiritually connected to, because you were afraid to speak at the wrong time. There is no perfect time, there is only now or never. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because one gentle, grounded expression from you would not overwhelm them. It would relieve them, it would interrupt the closure forming, it would reopen curiosity instead of certainty. Don't scroll, because this is not about chasing or fixing, It's about correcting a misunderstanding before it becomes destiny. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because if you remain silent much longer, the universe will stop nudging and allow free will to complete the separation, and when that happens, the lesson will still be learned, but the connection may not be preserved. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this was part 6, the moment where guidance becomes urgent without becoming fearful, and the universe is still giving you agency, still offering you the chance to speak before silence finishes the sentence for you, and what you choose next, presence or quiet, will echo far beyond this moment, shaping not just this connection, but how boldly you step into love moving forward, and your soul already knows which choice aligns with truth. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you've reached part 7, this message has narrowed down to this exact moment, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels almost confrontational but deeply loving, because what's happening now is no longer forming. It's settling, and once something settles in the soul, it becomes the new truth someone lives by. Listen to this, your silence has now done its final work on your soulmate's heart, not by hurting it, but by teaching it how to let go without noise, and that's the most dangerous kind of letting go. Don't scroll, stay with me, because your soulmate has crossed from, maybe they'll speak, into, I need to move forward regardless. And that shift doesn't feel dramatic to them anymore. It feels mature, justified, even necessary. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because when someone reaches this phase, they stop waiting for signs, they stop interpreting energy, they stop hoping the universe will intervene through you, and instead, they begin aligning their life around peace, certainty, and emotional safety, even if that alignment leads them away from you. Don't scroll, because the universe is showing you something critical here. Silence doesn't just create space, it trains the other person how to exist without you, and once the soul learns how to function without waiting, it rarely chooses to go back to uncertainty willingly. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is no longer questioning your feelings. They are questioning whether continuing to hold space for you is a form of self-abandonment, and that question carries weight, spiritual weight, the kind that pushes someone to choose themselves even when love is still present. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the moment where destiny stops nudging and starts allowing free will to complete the lesson if no correction is made. And the universe does this not out of punishment, but out of respect for both souls. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is reaching acceptance not with sadness, but with clarity, and clarity is powerful. Clarity makes people decisive, and once clarity settles, it doesn't unravel easily. Don't scroll, because the signs you're seeing now are no longer whispers, they're confirmations that a timeline is closing, angel numbers appearing in sequences, 555 repeating when you feel a sudden heaviness, 111 showing up when you almost reach out but stop, 444 appearing when you feel frozen in indecision. Those are not coincidences, they are signals saying, this is the last window before redirection. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate has begun emotionally preparing to invest their energy elsewhere, not necessarily into another person immediately, but into a version of themselves that no longer waits for clarity from outside, and that internal shift is what leads to life-changing decisions. Don't scroll, stay with me, because here's the truth that hurts but heals. Your soulmate doesn't want to walk away from you, but they will walk away from confusion. And silence has become the symbol of that confusion. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you may believe that when you're ready, you'll speak and things will resume, but emotional timelines don't pause cleanly, they continue moving forward even when nothing is said, and by the time you feel ready, the other person may already be emotionally elsewhere. Don't scroll, because the universe is asking you one final question in this phase, not, do you love them, not, are you sure, but, are you willing to risk vulnerability to prevent regret, because regret is heavier than rejection. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate has reached the point where staying silent feels like choosing yourself over them, and they are respecting what they believe is your choice, even if it was never meant to be one. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the most critical cliffhanger of all. Silence has almost finished writing the ending, and once an ending feels complete inside someone, reopening the story requires more than words. It requires timing alignment that may not return. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe does not bring guidance after the door closes, it brings it right before, and that's why this message feels intense, direct, unavoidable. Don't scroll, because destiny is not asking you to fix everything, it's asking you to interrupt one misunderstanding with truth, one pause with presence, one fear-driven silence with an honest signal. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because even now, one small reach from you would not feel invasive or overwhelming to them, it would feel relieving, grounding, validating. It would pause the emotional closure and reopen space for alignment. Don't scroll, because the universe is not asking you to choose the outcome, it's asking you to choose participation, to stop letting silence decide for you. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because if silence continues, your soulmate's life-changing decision will finalize quietly, cleanly, and respectfully. And by the time you notice the distance, it won't be forming anymore, it will already be complete. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the moment where courage matters more than certainty, presence matters more than perfection, and truth matters more than comfort, and whatever you choose next will echo far beyond this connection, shaping how boldly you allow yourself to be seen in love moving forward, and your soul already knows. Silence has done enough, and now it's time to decide whether you will speak, or let destiny move on without your voice. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you've reached part 8, this is the moment where the universe speaks the clearest, and your heart needs this right now in a way that cuts through fear, hesitation, and every excuse you've been holding on to, because what's happening now is no longer forming, no longer shifting, no longer warning. It's arriving. Listen to this, your silence has brought your soulmate to the final edge of a life-changing decision, the kind that doesn't feel dramatic, the kind that feels calm, resolved, and irreversible, and that's why this message feels heavy, because it is. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the phase where the soul locks in direction, where emotional doors don't slam shut. They close gently, respectfully, and once they're closed, they don't creak back open easily. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate has reached the point where they are no longer waiting for confirmation from you, they are giving it to themselves, telling their own heart, I've waited long enough, I need to choose peace, and peace, when chosen intentionally, becomes a powerful force that redirects entire lives. Don't scroll, because this is the moment most people never realize they're in until it's already past. The moment where silence is no longer neutral. It's final, it has communicated something your words never did, and your soulmate is honoring what they believe is your boundary, even if it was never meant to be one. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate isn't leaving in anger, they aren't blaming you, they aren't trying to punish you, they are closing a chapter quietly because they believe they must in order to survive emotionally. And when someone leaves that way, they rarely come back, not because they don't care, but because reopening would mean undoing the peace they fought to create. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe is revealing something sacred here. Silence teaches people how to live without you, and once the soul adapts, attachment loosens, longing softens, and the connection transforms into memory instead of possibility. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because your soulmate is now imagining a future that does not involve waiting, not because they wanted to give up on you, but because they felt forced to choose certainty over hope, and that choice is reshaping their identity, their availability, their openness to love. Don't scroll, because the signs you've been seeing are no longer guidance, they are confirmation of urgency. Angel numbers appearing in clusters, 555 signaling an irreversible shift, 111 flashing when you feel an almost painful urge to speak, 444 showing up when fear freezes you. These are not coincidences, they are the universe saying, this is the last threshold. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you are standing at the final moment where your voice can still interrupt destiny's redirection, not by force, not by control, but by presence, by truth, by showing up before silence finishes the sentence. Don't scroll, stay with me, because here's the hardest truth of all, if you remain silent after this point, the universe will stop intervening, not out of cruelty, but out of respect for free will. It will allow your soulmate to move forward fully, cleanly, without resistance, and once that happens, reconnecting will require divine realignment far beyond timing or words. Listen to this. Your heart needs this right now, because you were never meant to lose someone you feel spiritually connected to, because fear convinced you that silence was safer than honesty. Silence protects comfort, but honesty protects destiny. Don't scroll, because this is the final cliffhanger, the breath before the door closes, the pause before the path splits, and what you do next matters not just for this connection, but for who you become in love. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe is not asking you to guarantee an outcome, it's asking you to step into alignment, to speak from the heart without scripting the ending, to let truth replace assumption. Don't scroll, stay with me, because even now, one small, sincere expression from you would feel like relief to your soulmate, not pressure, not intrusion, but confirmation that the connection was real, mutual, alive, and worthy of patience. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because silence has almost completed its work, but it hasn't yet. The timeline is still open by a thread, and threads can hold tremendous weight when destiny is involved. Don't scroll, because this message did not find you by accident. It found you before the point of no return, before a quiet decision becomes a permanent direction, before love turns into memory instead of movement. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the universe is asking you to choose courage over comfort, presence over protection, truth over fear, and whatever you choose next will echo far beyond this moment, shaping not only whether this soulmate connection survives, but how boldly you allow yourself to be seen, heard, and chosen in love going forward. Don't scroll, because this is part 8, the final warning before redirection, and the universe is waiting, not to judge you, but to respond to whether you speak now, or allow silence to decide forever. Don't scroll, listen to this, because if you're here for part 9, this is not random anymore, this is intentional, and your heart needs this right now in a way that feels almost overwhelming because the universe is speaking at full volume without raising its voice, and what's happening now is the final energetic settling, the moment where destiny either bends back toward alignment or completes its redirection. Listen to this. Your silence has carried your soulmate all the way to the edge of a life-changing decision, and they are no longer wrestling with it emotionally the way they were before. They are accepting it spiritually, and that is the most powerful shift of all. Don't scroll, stay with me, because acceptance doesn't feel like loss to the soul, it feels like relief, and relief is what allows someone to let go without looking back. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because your soulmate has reached a point where they are no longer asking the universe for signs from you, they are asking the universe for permission to move on, and when that permission is felt, even quietly, the soul begins to close the door with grace, not bitterness, not resentment, but finality. Don't scroll, because this is the phase where destiny stops knocking and starts redirecting, not as punishment, but as alignment with self-respect, and your soulmate is choosing themselves now because they believe silence is your choice. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because what's about to happen next will not look dramatic from the outside, but internally it is seismic. They are emotionally reorganizing their life, their expectations, their openness, and once that internal reorganization is complete, the version of them who waited will no longer exist. Don't scroll, stay with me, because here's the hardest truth of all. When someone spiritually releases a connection, they don't usually come back to it, even if love remains, because returning would mean reopening a wound they finally learned how to close. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because your soulmate is not leaving you for someone else, they are leaving uncertainty, and uncertainty has become inseparable from your silence in their mind. Don't scroll, because the universe is making something very clear now. Silence has finished teaching its lesson, it has done everything it can do, and any longer will not create reflection, it will create distance that cannot be bridged by explanation later. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because the signs you are seeing at this stage are no longer warnings, they are confirmations that a timeline is finalizing, angel numbers appearing in intense repetition, 555 signaling a permanent shift, 111 appearing like a flash of urgency, 444 grounding you while asking you to act. These are the last signals before the universe allows free will to fully complete the separation. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the moment where your role in this story is being decided, not as someone who waited too long, but as someone who either stepped into courage or stayed silent out of fear. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because fear has been disguising itself as patience, wisdom, self-control, but fear always avoids risk, and love always requires it. Don't scroll, because destiny is not asking you to control the outcome. It's asking you to participate before the outcome is locked in. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because one honest expression from you, one message, one acknowledgement, one moment of presence would not reopen chaos, it would interrupt finality, it would pause the closure your soulmate is settling into, it would remind them that the connection exists in reality, not just memory. Don't scroll, because if you do nothing now, the universe will respect that too. It will allow your soulmate to move forward cleanly, peacefully, and fully, and by the time you realize what's happened, the energy will be different, quieter, distant, not angry, just complete. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because this is the last cliffhanger, the final breath before destiny chooses momentum over waiting, and destiny always favors clarity over confusion, movement over stagnation. Don't scroll, stay with me, because the universe did not bring you this message after the decision It brought it before, and guidance always arrives before the door closes, never after. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now, because you still have agency, but not infinite time, and infinite time was never promised. Alignment was, don't scroll, because whatever you choose now will echo forward, not just with this soulmate, but with every future connection, teaching your soul whether you choose safety over truth or courage over fear. Listen to this, your heart needs this right now. Because silence has almost finished writing the ending, and endings written by silence are the hardest to rewrite. Don't scroll, stay with me, because this is the moment the universe steps back and says, I have shown you the crossroads. Now choose, and whatever you choose will not be punished, but it will be honored, because free will is sacred, but so is truth, and if you feel the pull in your chest right now, that's not anxiety, that's intuition, that's your soul recognizing that this is the moment that matters, and whether you speak or stay silent next will shape not just this connection, but the courage with which you step into love for the rest of your life.